From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Sunday, August 23rd, 2015. Silver is trading at $15.33 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,161 per ounce. And according to BitcoinAverage.com, the average price of Bitcoin is $232. Antiwar.com reports after a solid year of hyping the Pentagon-trained rebel forces for Syria, what happened has become an embarrassment of epic proportions. The group, dubbed either Division 30 or the New Syria Forces, consisted of 54 men who were quickly routed by al-Qaeda before later making a deal with them, praising them as holy warriors and talking of jihad against the Assad government. They were created to fight the Islamic State, but have thus far never even gotten close to the Islamic State territory. Now, diplomats say the second round of U.S.-trained rebels will be deploying to Syria in a matter of weeks to join what is left of the first group. The U.S. Congress funded this training scheme to the tune of about $500 million, though officials have suggested only about a tenth of that has actually been spent, with major problems finding people who are both willing to train and able to be vetted as non-terrorists. The most recent comments from the Pentagon suggested they had hoped to have as many as 1,000 fighters on the ground by year's end, but these projections have often been dramatically over-optimistic in the past, as this was initially supposed to be a faction of tens of thousands of fighters by then, not 54. For over 35 years, Roberts & Roberts has been a trusted source for buying and selling your investment-grade precious metals. They also take Bitcoin for precious metal purchases and permanently removed the minimum purchase order for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts today for knowledgeable advice on investing and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 850-478-5270 or online at rrbi.co. UPI reports a Washington state wildfire that has already killed 3 firefighters and torched more than 160,000 acres of land continues to burn, but officials say it's now growing at a much slower pace. The Okanogan Complex fire is about 40% contained and has triggered evacuations of thousands of residents in north-central Washington. Some have been allowed to return home, but because the blaze has destroyed numerous structures, some don't have homes to return to. The governor's office said more than 100 homes so far have been destroyed and thousands remain under threat. More than 400,000 acres of land have been burned from more than a dozen fires across the state in recent weeks. The fire is one of dozens burning across the West and one of several raging in Washington. Earlier this week, 3 firefighters died when flames from the fire suddenly shifted. Authorities said the blaze has slowed in its advance, though, growing only 1,000 acres since Friday. All told, the fire has burned more than 162,000 acres, larger than the area of Seattle and Tacoma combined. President Obama on Friday declared a federal state of emergency for the state of Washington after several fires have burned hundreds of thousands of acres. Obama's declaration covers 12 counties in Washington state and the lands of 4 Native American tribes. You can support FPP Radio by joining the Fans program. Fans are friends, allies, and numerous supporters. Fans help FPP afford to produce more original content. To learn more or to join the Fans program, visit fans.fppradio.com. That's fans.fppradio.com. Reuters reports a U.S. federal judge on Friday ordered the government to swiftly release immigrant children held in detention centers, affirming a July ruling that said some minors who crossed the border illegally were being detained in violation of a long-standing settlement. The ruling by U.S. District Judge Dolly Gee in Los Angeles gave the administration of President Obama until October 23rd to comply with her order to release hundreds of unauthorized immigrant children, and in some cases their mothers, without unnecessary delay. Gee's ruling comes amid debate by U.S. presidential candidates over illegal immigration and follows an influx of immigrants from Central America across the U.S.-Mexico border. It's estimated that last year more than 68,000 children traveling without a parent entered the country. The federal government has held unaccompanied children or children caught with a parent in special facilities. The federal government has also taken steps to release unaccompanied immigrant children from border detention centers, often to a family member living in the United States. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.